Yes.
Let's start the discussion. The first topic is about the RCP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. So, in the global grouping and agreements. So, question is whether it affect Indian interest or promoting Indian, because initially, so India was very much interested to join RCP, but subsequently India did not join. And although during the formative discussions, India is very much keen to join this, but when the organization came into operation, it was grounded. India decided not to join. I remain stick to it. So let us discuss whether this creation of RCP is going to promote Indian interest or going to affect Indian interest. Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, a global grouping and agreement involving India or affecting its interest. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, two neighboring countries of India, are thinking about joining the RCP. 4 years after India withdrew from this organization. Two Indian neighboring countries, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, they have shown interest to join the regional grouping. What is Regional Comprehensive Partnership? Significant economic cooperation between the Asian country and the free trade agreement partners is represented by the RCP. So RCP is the group of 10 Asian members and its partner countries. They decided to form the RCP. The world's largest free trading bloc is called RCP. Its goal are to encourage member country collaboration, trade liberalization and economic integration. In 2012, the RCP negotiations started underway. A significant turning point in regional commerce was reached when it was formally inked in November 2022 and it became operational from 1 January 2022. Australia, Brunei, Cambodia, China, Indonesia, Japan, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, South Korea, Thailand, Vietnam. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 10 Asian countries and 5 of its trade partners. They form the RCP. RCP was concluded, signed and brought into force in the face of major international uncertainty and is a significant boost to the global trading system. For the member nations, 15 nations including Asian nations, Bhutan, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam. Along with this, who joined? China, Japan, New Zealand, South Korea, and Australia and so on. Cover regions, trading products and services, investment, intellectual property rights, economic and technical cooperation, competition, dispute resolution, e-commerce, small and medium-sized business, and other concerns are all included in the RCP negotiation. Objectives of RCP: encourage investment and trade among participating countries, remove or minimize trade barriers including tariffs, strengthen regional supply network and economic collaboration. Okay, objective: encourage investment and trade among participating countries, remove or minimize trade barriers including tariffs, strengthen regional supply network and economic collaboration. Benefit of RCEP: it encourages stability in the region and economic progress, simplifies trading rules and processes, promotes international investment, increases inventiveness and competitiveness. Okay, these are the benefit of RCEP. Trade volume: the countries that make up the RC Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership account for more than 30% of the world's GDP. Approximately one-third of the world's population is included in the trading bloc. It might have a big effect on international trade. The Asia Pacific region's importance in international trade is strengthened by the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Future trade agreements and regional cooperation may be modeled after this occurred. And economic impacts: the RCEP efforts to boost growth and support recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. The gains are significant, with real income gains in the region between 2.01%, reduction of tariff and 2.5% accounting for potential productivity improvements. That means, so RCP has a big economic impact globally, not only in Asia but globally. India and RCP. So one of the original member of RCP was India. So in the formative period, India was in so much interest for the creation of RCP. You can say that India played a very proactive role in the creation of RCP. Lot of round of negotiations were conducted to form this organization, and India was very much interested for joining this organization, the RCP. But when finally it came into operation or came into being, so India was not interested to join this organization. Okay. So one of the original member of RCP was India. India made the decision to leave the RCP talk in 2019. Although India was originally in talk for the creation of RCP, but in 2019 it decided to stop the negotiation and to participate in the negotiation and decided not to. Fine. So not to participate in the meeting of the RCP. Apprehensions about the RCP potential effect on Indian internal economy led to the country's decision to withdraw. So India realized that the internal economy of India will be affected by the creation of RCP. The main worries were about Chinese goods entering the Indian market and hurting domestic industries. The biggest apprehension about the impact of RCP if India became a member is that huge amount of Chinese goods will enter into Indian market and it will affect the Indian indigenous manufacturers. Contributing factor included misgivings from the small business and farm sectors as well as issue with service mobility. Conclusion: the RCP was concluded, signed and brought into force in the face of major international uncertainty and is a significant boost to the global trading system. So, although in the post RCP period it was realized that global economy is going to expand, but the RCP, India not joining this, at times it's called a suicidal attempt by India. But India realized this that so India should not join. So once India joined this, So it will be Indian economy, especially manufacturing, will be severely affected by the Chinese products, the dairy products from the other countries. That is the whole reason why India decided not to join the RCEP. Then polity and governance, judgment of Supreme Court on the some key questions like the same-sex marriage. Same-sex marriages were recently denied legal status by a five-judge Supreme Court constitutional bench led by the Chief Justice of India, Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. Although two judges, the Chief Justice of India and Justice Sanjeev Kishan Kaur, acknowledge that homosexual couple can establish civil unions, they are not the majority. Three judges majority ruling that the matter is solely legislative in nature. So leaving it to the legislature to make law. If the legislature want, legislature can give permission for same-sex marriage, but this will not be dealt by the judiciary, because this is, as per them, this is the domain of the legislature. Legislature should make law regarding this rather than leaving this matter to the judiciary to discuss on particular issue. Fine. Okay, so although the two judge bench, okay, ruling that the matter was closely legislative in nature, that means the legislature should make law on this. Okay, the fundamental right to marry, the petitioners has contended that the court ought to address the denial of fundamental constitutional right to marry the person of one's choice. So there is a fundamental right that a person should marry the person of his choice. The state would be required to defend this right if the court declare it to be a fundamental one, as it did in the 2017 Aadhaar judgment regarding privacy. The Supreme Court majority view, the petitioners claim that marriage is an innate right that the state merely regulates, was rejected by the CGI Chandrachud. According to the minority opinion, if marriage has not been governed by law, it might not have had a social and legal significance that it does today. Because in India, marriage is just not a union but have its own social and legal significance in the country. Inheritance, succession, property, etc., all are governed by marriage. Therefore, despite the fact that marriage is not fundamental in and of itself, it may have gained relevance due to the advantages that some with regulation. The majority opinion view, the majority opinion distinguished between what is fundamentally important to an individual and an enforceable fundamental right occurring with the CJI on this point. The fact that marriage is based on personal preference and bestows social status make it fundamentally important. Even when a preference is widely supported or accepted, it does not automatically follow that it should be regarded as a fundamental right because of its importance to the individual. Meaning of the Special Marriage Act. So the appellant, the petitioners have requested that the Supreme Court read spouses rather than man and woman when interpreting the term marriage. Alternatively, so spouses, because normally we think that marriage with man and woman, but the petitioners say they should be called as spouses, not as man and woman, male and female. Alternately, the petitioners have requested that the Special Marriage Act's gender restrictive clause be removed. The Supreme Court minority view, the court could not permit that, according to CJI Chandrachud, since it would in effect be entering the realm of legislature. So Chandrachud says that this is a matter of the legislature, so let legislature decide on this, not the judiciary. It would take India back to the pre-independence era when two persons of different religion and caste are unable to celebrate love in the form of marriage. If the court were not instead allow the second alternative to read down the Special Marriage Act, the degree that it is a gender limiting. The Special Marriage Act was for persons belonging to different religions. Earlier, persons of different religion cannot solemnize their marriage. So, the Special Marriage Act was passed by which person belonging to two different religions can solemnize their marriage and get the legal status. But this cannot be extended to the present same-sex marriage case. Despite reaching the same decision, Justice Bhatt said that the goal of the law is not to bring same-sex couple into the marriage sphere. The court could not interpret the Special Marriage Act to include them. The Special Marriage Act's goal and provisions make it abundantly evident that Parliament intended for not one type of couple, heterosexual couple, who practice different religion to be granted the privilege of civil marriage. It is so it says that people should be heterosexual, not homosexual. That means they belong to two different sects. Not that persons. So Special Marriage Act is for person, heterosexual person belonging to different religion should be given the right to marriage. That is the provision of the Special Marriage Act, but not that the person of the same sex can marry. Okay. Then the right of the queer couple to adopt a child. The petitioner claimed that the Central Adoption Resource Authority policies, which forbid unmarried couples from adopting children together, discriminate against the LGBTQ couple who are legally unable to wed. So, if the LGBT people are not legally unable to wed, so they are not allowed to adopt a child. According to the Chief Justice of India, some CARA regulation, CARA stands for Central Adoption Resource Authority, regulations should be invalidated because the purpose of the law is not to prevent single couple from adopting children. The child's best interests are actually guaranteed by all the other requirements. The CGI stated that the Union of India is not demonstrated that prohibiting single individual from adopting a child is in the best interest of the child, despite the fact that the same people are eligible to adopt individually. But the LGBT couple are not allowed to inherit that adopted child. According to the minority opinion, the prohibition on same-sex adoption are the unintended consequences of reinforcing the disadvantages already faced by the queer community. Law cannot judge what constitutes good and terrible, pretending based on the individual sexual orientation. The majority opinion, the discriminatory implications of prohibiting LGBT couple from adopting children were generally accepted by the majority view. Although couples who are married are either a morally superior choice or better parents in and of themselves, just what described this as having the most visible discriminatory effect on homosexual couples. Because all other law derive protections and benefits from the institutions of marriage, Parliament has chosen to include only married couple for joint adoption, where two parents are legally liable. This decision was made legislatively. The proposed interpretation of marital status could have negative effect that could only be addressed by the legislative and executive branches. The conclusion, even the court created some space and increased the minorities' quality of being easy to move, it did not go far enough. Many of its sympathetic remarks on right and discrimination might also be seen as symbolic gestures because of its unwavering opposition to same-sex marriage. Ultimately, then the decision highlights the bigger struggle that still need to be waged, the need for protections both inside and outside the family, the acceptance of civil union as a viable opinion for the community, and most importantly, the understanding that similar to other struggle for equal rights, this one will also require time and effort to win. Okay, next topic is the Muthuvan tribe. These people dwell in Kerala and Tamil Nadu's border hill forests, the Muthuvan tribes. They speak somewhat distinct dialect and are known as the Malayalam Muthuvan and the Pandi Muthuvan respectively. They are animist spirit worshippers and forest god worshippers. They think that their ancestors' soul were the first to go to the highland forest, the soul of their ancestors, With their traditional knowledge, they are noted for coexisting with animals. The Karnik form is a unique form of governance that these indigenous people follow. Each village is led by a Karni who is in charge of the village administration. The village headman is called as Kauni. They are experts in ancient treatments that are incredibly effective, and the medicine is kept private and passed down through generations. So occupation is agriculture is the main occupation of these Muthuhan tribes, producing quite a number of products like ragi, cardamom and lemongrass. What is the projects? Okay, and so they are right now the focus of the government. The Tamil Nadu government intends to conduct survey and radio telemetry investigation to have a better understanding of the Nilgiri Thar population as part of the project. It's called the Project Thar. Addressing immediate risk by reintroducing the thought to their historical environment, raising public awareness about the species. The project will last for 5 years from 2020 to 2027, called the Project Thar, launched by the Tamil Nadu government, putting the Tamil Nadu Thar population. Indian Ransomware Report 2022. According to the Computer Emergency Response Team of India, CERTIN, ransomware assaults are motivated not only by money but also by geopolitical tensions. What is a ransomware? Ransomware is a type of malicious software. What? It is a type of malicious software or malware, as they are called, that is designed to block access to a computer system network or data until ransom is paid. That means, so they put a blockage on the data, and unless a ransom as the demand is not paid, so it is not accessible. They attack a computer system. Okay, so example is WannaCry ransomware, the PETA, not PETA, the Grand Crab. So all these are ransomwares attack globally, and they have also affected India. Major finding of the report: ransomware incidents. The number of reported ransomware attack in India in 2022 was 53% higher than in 2021. Description target: ransomware attack targeted critical infrastructure organizations to disrupt services and extract ransom payment. Sector most impacted: the IT and ITS sector in India were the most impacted by ransomware attack, followed by the finance and the manufacturing sectors. Most prevalent variants: Lockbit was the most prevalent ransomware variant in India, followed by the Macof and the DJBU stock. Macof and the Phobos Vice Society and Blue Sky were new variants. Then the RAS ecosystem, the RAAS ransomware as a service ecosystem is becoming more prominent, allowing even non-technical individuals to launch ransomware attack. Earlier, highly technically qualified professionals were only able or only capable to do ransomware attack. The change circumstances has right now been allowing others also to go for a ransomware attack. Okay. So the on average the restoration time is about 10 days for infection in reasonably large infrastructure network. Organizations should regularly update their contingency plan, have higher security awareness among their employees about the ransomware attack. Global, the Budapest Convention on Cybercrime 2004, the first international treaty that seek to arrest internet and cybercrime by harmonizing national law. India is not a signatory to the Budapest Convention on Cybercrimes. The policy in India, we have the National Cyber Security Policy 2013, National Cyber Security Strategy 2020, the Cyber Surakshit Bharat Yojana 2018, the VANIK plus NEGT plus industry to create awareness program on the cyber security, Cyber Swachhata Kendra, pre-botnet cleaning and malware analysis tool are also available in India. Institutions, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, that I4C, established in 2018 under the Home Ministry to combat cybercrimes in India in a comprehensive and coordinated manner. National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center, the National Cyber Coordination Center under the CRDIA. Continuous efforts are required in the sphere of cyberspace in India to secure national cyberspace strength and synergize resources, including cooperation and collaboration in this domain. The next topic is the palliative care. Many Indians are either one hospital bill or one from improvised or are unable to afford health care. Every year, about 5.5 crore people fall below the poverty line as a result of out-of-pocket expenditure for health care in India. So 5.5 crore people in India become poor. Only the cost of drugs causes 3.8 crore people out of 5.5 crore to become improvised. Furthermore, India is becoming a hotspot of non-communicable diseases, and many patients with diseases such as cancer and cardiac disease eventually reach an incurable stage. Palliative care is a method of improving the quality of life of patients and their families who are dealing with life-threatening illness such as cancer, end-stage kidney disease, and debilitating cognitive diseases. It prevents and alleviates suffering by detecting, assessing, and treating pain and other physical and mental problems as early as possible. Addressing suffering entitles attending to factors other than physical sensations. Palliative care employs a multidisciplinary approach to assist patients and caregivers. This involves meeting practical needs and giving bed treatment supports. It provides a support system to assist patients in remaining as active as possible until death. The importance of palliative care. Palliative care differs from other medical specialties in that it focuses on controlling uncontrollable symptoms of incurable illness. It considers not only the physical aspect of health but also the social and economic circumstances of the patient and his or her family. Early palliative care beginning in patients with advanced diseases has been demonstrated to lower health costs by up to 25%. Early palliative care not only improve patients' quality of life but it also decreases avoidable hospitalization and healthcare utilization. Home-based palliative care lowers the cost of seeking care even more because homebound patients no longer have to travel to seek care. Okay, so in Odisha you can say because the number of cancer instances are growing, so government and some that voluntary organization, global trust are also establishing palliative cares for the cancers. The palliative hospitals for cancer have been opened in Odisha, and government of Odisha is opening more such. Right. So the Sarda temple for the first time since 1947, the Navaratri Puja were held in the Kashmir Sarda temple this year. The Sarda Pith temple is located in Pakistan occupied Kashmir POK and falls along the line of control in the Kupwara district of Jammu and Kashmir. It is one of the 18 Mahashakti Pitha and is thought to be the home of the Hindu goddess Saraswati. The Kashmir Purbasini was the name given to the goddesses Sarda here. The temple was previously considered one of the most important center of higher learning for Vedic texts, scriptures and commentaries. located in the Kashmir Valley. It is thought to be on par with the ancient learning center of Nalanda and Taxila. This temple is also associated with the Sarda culture and Sarda writing, which is regarded as the earliest script of Kashmir. The Angel tax for startups. The Central Board of Direct Taxes (CBDT) recently asked its officials not to investigate angel tax provisions for startups recognized by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So the tax department has directed its field official not to conduct verification for recognized startup in case involving section 56 to 7B of the Income Tax Act, which was revised in the Finance Act 2023 to include non-resident investors in the angel tax levy. In its directive, the CBDT stated that a procedure has been laid out for the assessment of such startup companies which have been recognized by the DPIIT, and no verification is required for such startup for notices related to amended provisions for angel tax. The angel tax is a 30.6% income tax applied when an unlisted firm sells shares to an investors at a price greater than their fair market value. It was initially implemented in 2012 to discourage the development and use of unexplained money by the subscribing of shares of a closely held company at a price greater than the firm's fair market value. Previously, it was solely levied on investment made by a resident investor. However, the Finance Act 2023 proposes extending the angel tax to non-resident investors as well. Changes made for angel tax in budget 23-24. The provision previously stated that when an unlisted company such as a startup receives equity investment from a resident for the issuance of shares that exceed the face value of such shares, the amount would be counted as income for startup and subject to income tax under the heading income tax or the sources for the relevant fiscal year. The government suggested in the amendment to include overseas investors in the ambit, which means that when a startup raises capital from a foreign investor, it will now be counted as income tax and taxable. The angel tax did not apply to DPIIT recognized startups. The Finance Ministry exempted investors from 21 countries, including the United States and United Kingdom and France, from assessment of angel tax for non-resident investment in unlisted Indian startups in May 2023. It lists, however, exclude investment from nations such as Singapore and Netherlands and Mauritius because from these countries, from the beginning, investments are coming to India. Such have traditionally been important locations for startup to raise capital because earlier, in the initial period, Singapore, Netherlands, and Mauritius were the major attraction point from where the most of the investment to the angel investment comes to India. That is why these countries were not exempted, but new country like USA, UK, and France, from where the investments to the angel investors coming right now, they are exempted right now. Now, coming to the question, discuss how important the Indian Ocean region is to global trade, security, and prosperity. Emphasize the primary obstacles linked to the region as well. question is discuss how important the Indian Ocean region is to global trade, security and prosperity. Emphasize the primary obstacles linked to the region as well. The Indian Ocean is a vast theatre that stretches from the Mozambique Channel in the west to the western coast of Australia and the Strait of Malacca in the east. It extends from the Arabian Sea and the Persian Gulf in the north to the southern Indian Ocean. The region's geo-economic significance can be explained by its size and diversity. The importance of the Indian Ocean region is international trade, security and economic prosperity is very important. Economic and trade, the region is home to 2.6 billion people or one third of the world's population. It also handles 80% of the world's oil traffic, 50% of the containerized freights and 33% of the bulk cargo. The flow of liquid energy around the world depends on the Indian Ocean region as well. 10 states around the Indian Ocean coast hold about 65% of the world's oil reserves. The region generates 1 trillion in products and services in total, with intra-Indian Ocean region association trade accounting for about 800 billion of that total. The Indian Ocean's marine capture fishes, accounting to UN Food and Agriculture Organization, provide almost 15% of the global fish harvest in the year 2020 comes from the Indian Ocean region, the fish harvest. Hydrothermal vent with mineral deposits of copper, cobalt, nickel, zinc, gold and rare earth elements can be found in the Indian Ocean. India leads the region in terms of both import and export volume and is followed by Singapore, Malaysia, Australia and Thailand. The GDP of several nations, notably Singapore, Indonesia and India, have increased significantly in the last 20 years. The IORA has great strategic importance due to its proximity to unstable area of the East African and West Asian countries. For East Africa to West Asia, this is an extended area. So it's okay. So the IORA has great strategic importance due to its proximity to unstable area of the East Africa and West Asian continent. It is also linked to the well-known SLOC and the unstable waters of the coast of Somalia, where maritime terrorism and international piracy are still a major problem because Somalia is a country of the pirates. It is the result of regional, as a result, the region is essential to the IORA stability and security. Changes assure the IORA, Indian Ocean region, due to its importance as a driver of global economic expansion. The Indian Ocean serves as a significant hub of drug smuggling, piracy, and illegal unreported fishing. The IUU fishing, according to FAO estimate, okay, 30% of the stock of the Indian Ocean are not being fished at levels that are ecologically viable. The piracy, the global economy bears heavy losses as a result of piracy. An estimated 7 billion to 12 billion is damage occurs annually as a result of piracy in the sea. Drug trafficking and small gun trafficking. Two of the most common marine crimes in the area are drug trafficking and small gun trafficking. The Golden Crescent and the Golden Triangle are the two primary places where drug production affect the Indian Ocean. So Myanmar, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand. Okay, the Golden Triangle, the Golden Crescent. Okay, are the two primary drug producing affected Indian Ocean. The eastern coast of Africa has become a transshipment hub for drugs and small guns in the western Indian Ocean. An annual worth $190 million. World's hazard belts. The Indian Ocean region is sometimes referred as the world's hazard belt due to its geographical susceptibility to distress. Additionally, the area had the world's least advanced disaster response according to our coordinating systems. Choke points. There are states of Malacca, the state of Hamruj, and the Babel Mandeb are the three principal choke points in the Indian Ocean. Due to the critical nature of these chokes, sites of global trade, even the slightest disruption could have a significant effect on global transportation. So, in the conclusion, the Indian Ocean region is becoming increasingly significant for international trade, geopolitical rivalry, and marine security. Regional framework including the Indian Ocean Commission, Indian Ocean Marine Association, and the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium are primarily responsible for facilitating cooperation throughout the Indian Ocean. All parties involved will be able to coordinate and collaborate more effectively if the Indian Ocean is given a unified maritime identity and strategy. Then coming to the MCQs, with reference to Navratna Company, consider the following statement. As of 2023, India has 16 Navratna companies. Okay. To attain Navratna status, a firm must initially hold a Miniratna designation. They both are correct. So Miniratna, then Navaratna, then Maharatna. So 16 Navaratna companies are there, and many of the Navaratna companies have been upgraded to Maharatna status. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Then with reference to the methane gas, consider the following statement. Methane is a highly potent greenhouse gas responsible for about 30% of global warming since the Industrial Revolution. Methane has more than 80 times the warming power of carbon. Carbon dioxide over the first 20 years of its lifetime in the atmosphere, right? Methane is the primary reason for the ground level ozone pollution. That is also right. So all the 1 to 3 are correct. Then consider the following about the graphene Aurora program. The program is implemented by the Ministry of Mines. The program aims to foster innovation of graphene technology. Right, Indian Innovation Center Graphite is set under the program to boost research and development in the graphene. Only one is correct. The term just in bellow, often seen is used in context of warfare. With reference to the Psyche mission, consider the following statement. It aims to understand iron core of Earth. That is right. It is learned by ISRO Cosmos, and ISRO is wrong. So only which is not correct. Okay. So one is not correct. With reference, which of the following states are common to the eastern and the western dedicated freight corridor? Rajasthan is closed. Gujarat and Haryana are not common to eastern and western dedicated freight corridor. So these two, Gujarat and Haryana, rest two are common. And the following: Laos, Brunei, Thailand, Vietnam, Papua New Guinea, Philippines. How many of them are the member of ASEAN? ASEAN has 10 members. Okay. So Papua New Guinea is not a member of ASEAN. Laos, Brunei, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines are members. Only the fifth Papua New Guinea is not member. 5 are members. Which of the following statements are correct about the deposit of the methane hydrates? Global warming might trigger the release of methane gas from these deposits, right? Large deposits of methane hydrates are found in the Arctic tundra and on the seafloor, right? Methane in atmosphere oxides to carbon dioxide after a decade or two. That is also right. All 3 are correct. Who are the Sangha sisters? 5 sisters from the Napin Sadhana who have dedicated themselves to preserving their ancestral homes and promoting sustainable tourism in their village. They are called as the Sangha sisters. A. Then OAN was the Indian Ocean Association created in 1997. Fine. So this is all about today. Keep watching regularly for updation and enrichment. Understood. कुंद आइंदा आज मुझे जानी आज गोटे अलग जगह क्लास अच्छे तो ऑनलाइन क्लास में आसी देखनी जब आसती एंथ्रोपोलॉजी यूपीएससी तो सब ऑप्शनल